This is WB5DRI. We will be starting up the Air Force's Flyers Club net at the top of the hour in about 5 minutes. Roger, the frequency is in use. Thank you very much for asking. This is WB5DRI. We will be starting the Air Force's Flyers Club net in about 4 minutes on this frequency. Over. You're welcome. You're welcome to join us if you'd like.
Audio 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Audio 1 2 3 4 5. Hello, audio.
This is W5PIX, and your audio is very clear and very good.
Thank you, sir. W0 NH, sir.
Well, it's about that time. Let's go ahead and start up the net. This is Whiskey Bravo 5, Delta Romeo India. I will be net control this morning. My name is Brian, and I'm in San Antonio, Texas, and I want to welcome everyone to our Air Force's Flyers Club Net this morning. This is the Friday edition, and on this first full day of summer, I want to welcome everybody, and good morning to all. This net meets every day of the year on this frequency, 14.290, and the Flyers Club consists of military aviation members, both active and retired, and many veterans of all the military services, to include pilots, air crew, ground crew, air traffic controllers, missile crews, support crews, and anyone involved with military aviation from all of the air branches of all of our military services. We also very much like to welcome visitors to the net, and you don't need to be involved with the military or aviation in order to check in. Our purpose is to promote fellowship between those radio amateurs who devote a portion of their lives to support our air forces. This is a control net. To contact net control, use the words contact, relay, check-in, or info. We also have a very good website at www.airforcesflyers.org. I repeat, airforcesflyers.org, which has a lot of good information about our net and also an online application if you would like to join. Again, that's not necessary in order to check in. Again, my call sign is WB5DRI. My name is Brian, and I'm located down here in the Alamo City in San Antonio, Texas, in south central Texas. Our format for this net is we take check-ins and we go down the list, allowing each station to give their reports, and then we go back for a second 73 round if there's time. Please keep your transmissions no longer than 2 minutes if possible, as there is another net that follows our net about 2 kilohertz up at half past the top of the hour. At this time, I do have the following stations on the list already from NetLogger that John, WA6LJS, is doing. And we also have a live stream on YouTube that K4YDB does of our net. So you can type in his call sign and bring up the live stream there. We also have a couple of questions of the day, and those questions are posted by K4YDB on his live stream. And we'll get to those in a minute. The folks I have on the list, I have Cliff. Good morning again, Cliff, W5PIX Mobile at the top of the list. He's up in Bryan, Texas this morning unloading his truck, and he'll be joining us here shortly. And I have Lee, N5BE, also another Texan up in Arlington, and he is the author of our questions this morning. And our questions are courtesy of N5BE. I also have another Lee over to the east of me, closer to Houston there in Belleville, Texas, W4PUO. Good morning to both of you guys. And then next I have our NetLogger WA6LJS, John, out in Honolulu. And he's kindly taken the NetLogger on for us today and doing a great job of it here. And then I have Carl, KF7GJO, out in Sparks, Nevada. Good morning to you, Carl. Then I have our commander, K1BOB, Bob, up in Boise, Idaho. Good morning again, Bob. Then I have Joe, W5ABI, in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Good morning to you, Joe. Then I have Captain Bill, W2WLD, up in Scotia, New York. Good morning to you, Bill. And then we have Charlie, our live stream guy, K4YDB, And he says he's possible receive, so I'm not sure what that means, so we'll give him a call when we get down to you there, Charlie. Then I have KS5KY, Chris, out in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Good morning, and a wave to you there, Chris. I guess Chris is receive only. He's probably at work this morning. So good to have you riding along, listening along with the net here, Chris. We hope to get you back in there real soon. Then we have WB2JJO, Ray out in New Jersey. Good morning to you, Ray. And then we have Bob up in Pleasanton, California, NX6RG. Good morning to you, Bob. Then we have, it looks like James, KG5PTE, has joined us. So that's the list as I have it right now. Let me stand by for any additional check-ins before we get a call out from the west and east coast there. This is WB5DRI. We're looking for check-ins to the Air Force's Flyers Club net. Members or guests, please call now. Good morning, Jack. K4YDB. You need to be a short timer?
Relay.
K4YDB, Jack, WB5DRI. Do you need a short time this morning, Jack? Okay, I'll put you on the list here. We'll put you on here right after James. Good morning to you, sir. Any others before we get a call out from the west and east coast?
Relay, K1BOB.
The mobile station, can you come back slowly again, please? You're a little light with me. Alpha Lima 7, November Sierra, mobile. Can you give us your name and location there, over? Okay, I got you Georgia, Florida border. And what was your name again, over? Oh, okay, Larry, real fine. Are you going to be able to stick around, or you want to go ahead and take your turn now there, Larry? Okay, well, the band's up and down, I guess. Pretty good, Larry. We'll try to get you in right after our other mobile station here, kind of at the top of the net there. So very good. Good to hear you out there and on the Georgia-Florida border there. Break with AL7NS. Let's go. John, can you put out a call, please, sir, from Hamul, WA6LJS?
Relay.
Wilco, there's a relay in there, Brian. Who's the relay?
Yeah, W4PUO. I've got a call sign I heard, Romeo Echo Hotel. Romeo Echo Hotel. Did not get the prefix, over.
See if you can bring him in.
Would the station called Romeo Echo Hotel please call W4PUO for check-in to the Air Force's Flyers net? This is W4, Papa Uniform Oscar.
Okay, good morning. I don't think I've ever checked into your net before, but just scanning around the band there. Good signal here this morning. So the call here is Norway 0, Radio Echo Hotel. The name is Richard, up here in Eagan, Minnesota. There, QSL.
QSL, Richard, November 0, Romeo Echo Hotel in Minnesota. And can you copy that, Brian? Over.
Roger. Sure am. I'm copying him, Lee. Yeah, Richard, I have you here in San Antonio. Good signal there from Minnesota, N0REH. Good to have you with us there. Richard, are you going to be able to stay with us for a while?
Yeah, we'll be listening along.
Okay, we'll try to get you in there after our mobile stations there, Richard. Thanks for joining us this morning. Okay, John, WA6LJS, please put out a call, sir.
Wilco, this is WA6LJS relaying for net control for the Friday morning Air Force Flyers Net. We're looking for check-ins, either members or visitors. Call now.
Relay K1BLB, add K0ZNC at the top of the list. K0ZNC, John, Don, K1BLB.
Roger, Bob. We'll put him up there. All it was is K0ZNC, and I think Bob will simul him in there, Brian. I didn't hear anything else, so back to net.
Okay, real fine, John. Thank you for that. I put him at the top of my list here too, and I see you're going to add him there to NetLogger. So very good. And I guess Bob will be bringing him in. Break. Let's go out to how about Jack KM4CAX? Could you put out a call for us, please, sir? Okay, thank you very much, Jack. Let me go ahead and give the questions for the day here real quick. These are, as I said, questions courtesy of N5BE Lee up in Arlington, and he came up with some great questions about the hedgerows country of Normandy and how it affected the Normandy invasion in 1944. The question is, the famous bocage terrain of Normandy was a feature that caused problems for movement beyond the beaches. These dense hedges were at times many battle sites, and they had hedgerows and interspersed with groves of trees, I believe, and it was a very interesting terrain for all of for a lot of Normandy had this terrain in it apparently. So anyway, these questions concern the bocage, and which of the following bocage statements are 100% true? We're looking for the ones that are completely true. Okay, so the first one is Alpha, concerning the bocage. They held up Allied ground forces, restricting movement across the front. So Alpha is they held up Allied ground forces, restricting movement across the front. Bravo, the existence of the bocage hedges was an intelligence failure. Bravo, the existence of the bocage hedges was an intelligence failure. Charlie, the welding of steel teeth onto the U.S. Rhino tanks was a strategic asset in the bocage breakout. Charlie, the welding of steel teeth onto the U.S. Rhino tanks was a strategic asset in the bocage breakout. Delta, the D-Day assault units were not given extensive training on how to attack through the bocage. Delta, the D-Day assault units were not given extensive training on how to attack through the bocage. Echo, the bocage assisted us in keeping the German units bottled up while we built up our forces and logistics. Echo, the bocage assisted us in keeping the German units bottled up while we built up our forces and logistics. Okay, those are the two questions, or the questions this morning. A single question. So we're looking for the answers that are the most true statements, 100% true statements about the bocage. So here we go. Let's go ahead and bring in K0ZNC first, if you would do that, Bob. K1BOB, thanks for that. Good morning, Don. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
This is K1BOB, and Don, go ahead. You're up. Good morning, Don. Here he is.
Good morning, everyone. I think I'm transmitting here. Yeah, I'm transmitting. Good morning to all listeners. Hope everyone has a we've got a little different brewing here today. The weatherman said it's currently 62 degrees and going to get into the upper 70s for a high. But the different day is, he said there's a 50% chance of rain. Hey, we'll take it any time. Oh gosh, let's see. Relative to the question of the day, I think the only not completely true answer is Delta. I think they're all true except Delta. Just kind of guess there. And no real alternative basis for it. I do know that they did kind of apparatus onto the tanks to tear down the engine as they went through. Delta is a correct one. So put me down for Delta as the answer that's not completely true. So I guess that's about it. Chances are pretty good that I'll be here for the 7-inch round. Give me a shot when it comes time for 7-inch round. With that, I want to
frequencies in use, Whiskey.
Frequencies in use, old man. Thank you for getting me up there. It's a short time to appreciate it. Everyone, have a good day. We'll turn it back to you, Brian, W5DRI, K1BOB, this is K0ZNC.
K1BOB, back to net. Kilo Whiskey, this is a frequency in use.
Frequency is in use, old man.
Okay, thank you very much, Don, for that. Good to hear you this morning.
Frequencies in use.
I didn't quite catch your answers there at the end. Can somebody give me, Bob, can you give me a relay on his answers there, over?
The most not truth one was Delta. Answer Delta he gave.
Okay, I copied Delta was his answer. So very good, Don. Let's go ahead and move on. Break with you. Let's take our first mobile station this morning. W5PIX. Cliff, good morning. Again, you're up, sir. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI, W5PX. Good morning there, Brian. Appreciate you picking up the net today from Mike. And welcome to all the guests, and to you, Larry. Drive safe on down into Lakeland, Florida. I'm fixing to leave Bryan, Texas here and head to the home QTH also for the weekend myself. The true questions, yeah, I'll go with Delta also. I don't remember them ever being involved putting teeth, and I don't remember the Rhino tank. That don't strike a bell, but if that's what you're looking for is the most false question, then I would go Delta also. But Echo, yeah, they did keep the Germans pinned down. Other than that, everybody have a very good day. It was nice and clear skies here in Bryan. Now clouds have moved in. But I've got to step out for a second, close the doors, and I will be back and be headed to San Antonio, or back to the home QTH. Back to you, Brian. Appreciate you picking up the net. And WB5DRI, W5PIX Mobile, Bryan College Station.
Okay, real fine, Cliff, W5PIX, WB5DRI. Well, I got your answer there as Delta. There actually are more than one of these statements that are 100% true. I should mention that, I guess. Maybe I should have said that at the beginning. But very good. I got you down for Delta. Let's go ahead and move on here. Let's take our other mobile station, Larry, out there in, near the Georgia-Florida border there. Alpha Lima 7, November Sierra, mobile. Larry, what do you have for our net this morning? WB5DRI. Okay, I think you turned it, Larry. Good to hear you this morning, and drive safe there, and thanks for checking in with our net this morning. It's good to have you riding along with us here. Break with AL7NS. Let's go to another one of our visitors here this morning, Richard up in Minnesota, N0 Romeo Echo Hotel. N0REH. Richard, you're up for the net. Good morning again. WB5DRI.
Okay, good morning. Yes, I'd be one of the visitors, I guess. I don't believe I've ever checked into your net before, but everybody's got a nice signal here this morning. The old bands are being pretty good here today. So, we've got a dark and gloomy day here, 65 degrees, and the weatherman threatens with some rain again, which is a kind of a daily ritual up here. And so the almighty Mississippi's going to get pretty heavy by the time it gets down in your country down there. So, yeah, we're just running the Flex 6400 with the expert amp and about 900 watts to a Wilson System 36 beam here. That's about it on this end. So there's no traffic here, one for the count here. N0REH here, back to net.
Okay, Richard, N0REH, WB5DRI. Well, you're sounding good here in San Antonio, Richard. You're very close to the 9 mark, I think, and good to hear you this morning, and good to have you with us. And sounds like you guys are having some, I'm sure, moderate weather up there in Minnesota there. Probably a lot cooler than what it'll be down here today. I think we're about 77 already, and going to be up to about 90 today. The rain yesterday kind of cooled us off, which we'll take any time. Anyway, good to hear you, Richard. Thanks for joining us. Break with N0REH. Let's try our other visitor from South Dakota, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, India. Bob, up there in South Dakota. If you're still with us, Bob, you're up for the net. WB5DRI.
He signed out of NetLogger, Brian.
Okay, thank you, John. I didn't see that. I appreciate that. I guess he decided he couldn't stick around. Okay, that is all of our visitors, I think, so far. Let's go ahead and start down the regular list here. Let's go back to the top of the list that I have. Next on the list, I have, let's see, well, it's actually Lee, N5BE. Lee, Good morning, and thanks for the questions this morning. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI N5BE. Good morning, Brian, and good morning to everyone on the net today. When I sent Brian this question, I put a little note at the bottom about recorded history and how many, I'll call them historians in italics, who covered this part of the war were somewhat lazy, copying each other's notes and even extrapolating stories out of anecdotal stories that were never really tracked down. And I'm not going to get into names because, you know, these are people that we've all read their books. We've revered them because of what they've contributed, and they did make a lot of contributions, but some of it was just flat wrong. Luckily for all of us who revere history, there is a new generation of young historians that are doing the archival work across multiple archives to dig out the truth and present that. So that is, I am so excited about that. And so I want to put a case in point here about a veteran that I knew, a World War II veteran, who was a Buffalo soldier, a wonderful man. And he told me about how he was up against von Rundstedt in Italy for all those years, and I had to quietly just pat him on the back and explain to him that von Rundstedt never stepped a foot in Italy. You know, he was an Eastern Front guy, Western Front guy, and you were up against a guy named Kesselring. And I do so, you know, not wanting to be a know-it-all, but saying, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you thought were going on was not true. And another case in point is every German tank was a Tiger tank, and every gun was an 88, which, you know, is nonsense. So anyway, we can talk about this question after on the 73 round. There's some fascinating stuff here. So at least it is for me. So we'll get around to that. Brian, thank you for letting me have the question and today, and thank you for letting me share my passion for history. WB5DRI N5BE.
Okay, Lee, very fine. N5BE, WB5DRI. Well, thanks for the question this morning, Lee. It's a great question, and it's a part of the Normandy history that we need to, all of us, be aware of and remember for sure. But let's go ahead and move on. Break with you. Let's go to another Lee out to the east of me in Belleville, Texas. W4PUO. Lee, you're up, sir. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI, W4PUO. Now, good morning again, Brian, and thank you. Good question. I'm having trouble picking one. That is totally true. I'm sure there's a lot of truth in all five of those. But if you want to start a lemming line, I'll be number two. I'm going to take training. It was lacking because I know there was a lot of activity in Great Britain as they were gearing up for the Normandy invasion, and probably they didn't have the same kind of conditions there to train on that. So I'm going to say training on the hedgerow problem was probably lacking. That's a true statement. Back to you, to the net, and thanks, Brian. WB5DRI, W4PUO.
Okay, Lee, well, very fine. I got you down for Delta there, that the training was lacking, and I believe that. Anyway, very good, and let's go ahead and move on here, and we've got kind of a lemming line started, so let's see what happens here. But again, there's there's more than one that are 100% correct here, or true. So let's go to our net logger. John, thanks for all your help this morning. We couldn't do the net without your help there. Sure appreciate it. WA6LJS, you're up, John. WB5DRI.
Okay, thank you, Brian. WB5DRI. This is WA6LJS. Good morning, everybody. Where it's bright and sunny, clear blue skies. We didn't have we had a marine front at about 6 o'clock this morning, but it burned right through. And we're going to be up probably close to 80 or maybe 80 today. Let's see, answer the question. I think I'm going to say they're all true. I don't really know, but you keep saying that there's more than one true, so it would be hard to pick out more, just a few. So put me down for all true, and we'll see how that works. Anyway, thanks very much for picking up the net for Mike today, and you're a solid 15 over as usual. And so far, I've been able to hear everybody locally here. I have the SDRs, 2 of them on, but haven't had to use them yet. So very good, and I'll be here to the bottom. Back to you, Brian. WB5DRI, WA6LJS.
Okay, John, WA6LJS, WB5DRI. Well, John thinks they're all true, so I'll put you down for all true there, John. Very good. Break with you. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go out to Sparks, Nevada, to Sparky out there. KF7 GJO. Carl, you're up. Good morning, sir. WB5DRI.
Well, good morning, Brian and the group. This is KF7GJO out here in rather warm and dry Sparks, Nevada. We're forecast to tie the record of 100 tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Other than that, propagation remains the same. Not much to call home about. Hey, one of these days I'll get that antenna up a couple feet further, or I'll get my 80-meter dipole up, and if a noisier antenna, it is a lot of wires. It helps pull in the signal. Interesting question, and boy, one that I don't I don't know anything about the European theater, guys. Hey, my interest was the Pacific theater in World War II. Let's go back to the Pacific and ask some questions. Okay. Interesting question, and all of those answers feasibly could be true. I'm agreeing with the group as far as answer Delta as being false. The other one that I'm questioning is the hedges being an intelligent failure. I'm just having a problem buying off on that one, Brian, so I'm going to go with Bravo and Delta as being the false answer, the others as being true. So it'll be interesting to see when the results come up. And Lee, I'll get you for this one. Aye. Okay, back to you, buddy. WB5DRI, this KF7 GJO.
Okay, Carl, KF7 GJO, WB5DRI. Well, I think you wanted Bravo and Delta to be the false answers. I'm really looking for the true answers there. That would make Alpha and Charlie and Echo true. But is that? I guess that's the way you. That was your answer there, Carl. Is that right?
That's correct. The true answers would be Alpha, Charlie, and Echo.
Okay, real fine. Alpha, Charlie, and Echo true. Very good, Carl. And let's go ahead and move on here. Let's go to our commander and see what his thoughts are on this bocage business here. K4YDB, Bob, good morning again, sir. You're up. WB5 DRI.
Okay, Brian, thank you. Thank you for running the net today. Lee, thank you for the question, I think. John, thanks for doing NetLogger, and Charlie for YouTube as always. Well, I don't know, a little skullduggery going over here. I think I know most of the stuff here, but I'm not sure. I've been over there and I've seen those hedgerows. They're horrific to get through. I think A was probably true. It definitely restricted our movement. You can't argue against it. It probably slowed the Germans a little bit too. The Bravo is true, I think, also. The Rhino tanks, yeah, I've seen those, and they were a key to doing it. Let's see. I don't know about Delta. I'm going to say Delta is one of the false ones. And I don't think they had any real training. I don't know. It was a surprise. It was a surprise to the commanders, commanding general. They didn't expect that at all. So I think it was an intelligence failure. I'll get back to my answers in a minute. I think E is a bona fide false one there. But I thought you said two were true. So I don't know. I'm doing the old scratching my head trick here. So I'm going to go A was true, B is true, C is definitely true. I'm going to go no real training. Well, they must have known from looking on the maps. The British have the same thing. I've lived in a town that had them. Hedgerows there. They're very annoying to get through. They do their job. They keep cattle in. Anyway, I'm going to go with D and F are false. I think the first three are true anyway. If you're looking for the true, the first three are true, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. You can analyze these different ways, I think. 100% true. Is anything 100% true? I don't know. Only Lee knows in his mind. K4YDB, back to net. Thanks, Brian.
Okay, Bob, real fine. K4YDB, WB5DRI. Well, I've got you down for Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie as being 100% true there. So we'll see how that comes out, Bob. Let's go ahead and move on. Break with you. Let's go to out to Las Cruces, New Mexico there to Joe. W5ABI. Joe, good morning. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
Raindrops here and there, but nothing significant. Hopefully we get a little bit of rain today. About 77 degrees. It's not bad. This is supposed to go up to 90, but if the rain is going, I don't want to get up that high. I agree with you. And my answer to the question was, I'm going to go with every answer but echo. I'm going to go A, B, C, and D, and echo false. So we'll be hearing about WB5DRI, W5ABI.
Okay, Joe, real fine. Good to hear you this morning, Joe, and I got your answers there as Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta being true. So let's go ahead and move on here. Break with you. Let's go up to New York to Captain Bill. W2WLD. Bill, you're up, sir. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI, W2WLD. Good morning, Brian. Good morning to everyone on the net. The propagation is fair today. We're a little cooler today. It's overcast. We'll hit 86, but we're out of the 90s. The weekend, it may shoot back up to 92. We'll see. That's the local story here, the heat wave. The question, I'm going to emphasize that I am strictly guessing, because I don't remember ever reading about this issue. I do think that A is true, that it probably held up the Allies somehow. I don't think it was an intelligence failure. I think, that they existed. Certainly everybody knew that. Maybe the intelligence failure was that how difficult it would be to traverse this area, but I don't think B is 100% true. The Charlie, the Rhino tank, and the welding on of those points, I think that probably is true. As far as Delta, that they were not given extensive training. I think they probably got some training, but maybe not extensive. So I would say that that is probably true, that they did not get extensive training on traversing this territory. And Echo, I gotta believe the Germans who were living there did not allow themselves to be bottled up by these problems, that they had an exit plan. So, all that words means the true ones, I believe, are Alpha, Charlie, and Delta. Alpha, Charlie, Delta, true. WB5DRI, W2WLD.
Okay, Bill, very fine. W2WLD, WB5DRI. Well, I got you down for Alpha, Charlie, and Delta as being the 100% true statements, so very good. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's see if Charlie is transmitting this morning. K4YDB. Good morning, Charlie, and thanks for all the help with the live stream on YouTube. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI, K4YDB. Well, good morning, Brian. Morning to all the flyers and visitors out there. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Right now it is already 86 degrees here. Supposed to get up into the mid-90s again today. No rain in the forecast until Monday at least. So I'll be waiting until Saturday or Sunday before I start putting any fertilizer out. Because the grass is very, very dry right now. Conditions have been pretty good here so far. I've heard just about everybody. But of course, Jack's one is very hard to copy for me over here because he's so close. But anyway, as far as the question goes, well, I look at it, I look at it like if I look at the question D, and the D says the D-Day assault units were not given extensive training, and everybody's picked in that one. But then if you got D, then you would have a problem with A, because A, they didn't know, then they couldn't fix it, right? So I'm going to go with A and D. And the third question, just put me down for Echo on the third, A, D, and E. That's because I know there's at least three of them got to be good. Anyway, WB5DRI, K4YDB, I'm back to net.
Okay, real fine, Charlie. K4YDB, WB5DRI. Well, we've got another one for Echo there, so very good. Alpha, Bravo, and Echo, says Charlie. So we'll see how that comes out, Charlie. Break with you. I want to recognize again KS5KY Chris out in Bowling Green, Kentucky, who's listening to the net this morning and riding along with us there. Chris, thanks for joining us there, and have a good day there at your work, and we'll talk to you soon back on the net here, hopefully. Break with you guys. Let's go on to out to New Jersey to Ray, WB2JJO. Ray, good morning, WB5DRI. Okay, Ray, very fine. WB2JJO, WB5DRI. Well, yeah, good to hear you this morning, Ray. And yeah, that humidity is what makes it really uncomfortable with any kind of a temperature at all. It seems like, and we get humid sometimes here in San Antonio, but not all the time. We're blessed in that regard. We do have a lot of days of just dry heat. Anyway, good to hear you, Ray, and got your answer there as Alpha, Charlie, and Delta. So we'll see how that comes out. Break with you. Let's go out to the other coast, to the California coast, to the San Francisco area, Pleasanton, California, to Bob in X6RG. Bob, what do you think about the 100% correct statements here? WB5DRI. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Brian. WB5DRI. This is an X6RG. Well, good morning to all the flyers. Beautiful day here in the San Francisco area, Northern California. Although it's starting to warm up, and by Saturday it's going to be triple digits here, so I guess I got to enjoy it while it lasts. Very interesting question, Brian. You asked for completely true, so I think Alpha is completely true. Bravo, I have a problem with the word the existence of hedges was an intelligence failure. I don't think that's true. Photo reconnaissance did show them. The problem was underestimating how thick they were and what the impact was going to be on ground operations, but the existence of the hedges was certainly could be seen by photo reconnaissance. So I think Bravo's false. Charlie, I'm troubled by the word strategic there. I would think it's more of a tactical asset. However, I think within the meaning of this question and the answers, I'm going to give it a pass for true. So Alpha and Charlie so far are true. Delta, I believe, is true. The troops weren't given training on how to deal with hedges because everybody underestimated the degree of difficulty. So I think Alpha, Charlie, and Delta are true. Echo, I think, is false because the Germans weren't bottled up there. They wanted to be there. It gave them a tactical advantage, particularly with crossfire on our troops. So I think I'm going to say Bravo and Echo are false, and Alpha, Charlie, and Delta are true. And Brian, I got to be one and done. My dog's been waiting patiently here. But I got to take him for his walk. So we'll say 73s to the Flyers, and we'll see everybody on the air back on Monday. And thanks for doing the net today, Brian. WB5DRI in X6RG.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
Yeah, I don't mean to be picky, Brian, but I'm noticing on NetLogger that I guess John's doing it. He's putting in the false answers. So as long as we realize that when we grade the papers here, for those that selected Alpha, Charlie, and Delta as true, the NetLogger is showing the false answers, Bravo and Echo. And that's fine as long as we realize what's being done. Over.
Okay, real fine, Bill. Thanks for pointing that out. I didn't realize that. I see that now. John, the answers we're looking for here are the 100% true answers, not the false answers there. So that's what should be on NetLogger there. Anyway, thank you for that, Bob, and I'll let you go because I know you need to go and walk Schroeder there. But we got you down for the true answers, Alpha, Charlie, and Delta out of those 5 statements there. So 73s to you, Bob. Have a great day, and thanks for checking in with us. And I liked your analysis there. Break with NX6RG. Let's go to another Texas station this morning. James, KG5PTE. James, you're up. Good morning, WB5DRI.
Good morning, Brian. WB5DRI, KG5PT. I was looking at NetLogger and I was scratching my head trying to figure out what's the false answers doing on the roster, but I'm going to follow the professor, Bob, in X6RG. I'm going to go with, Bravo and Echo are false. Everything else is true. And I want to thank Charlie for live streaming, because I've been kind of looking through this, and I remember reading about this somewhere. I think it might have been in NCO school when we were in the academy when I was a young tech sergeant going through NCO school. We talked about this. Anyway, yeah, Alpha. Let's see. Bravo and Echo are false, and everything else is true. So you're looking for the true statements, and the rest of them are true. Bravo and Echo are false. Anyway, that's all I got here. Getting ready for field day. I'm going to start making a list and packing it up. I see Willie's on the bottom. He's going to probably check in here. And Willie, I got your text about loading up tomorrow today. I got to make a list and make sure I don't forget anything. So we're going to be looking for a good time, Brian, at field day tomorrow. We're going to be playing with the Copper's Cove Repeaters Association in Copper's Cove, Texas, out at Ogletree Gap Park. And Willie says he's going to play CW all night long Saturday night. So we're going to see what we can make contacts on CW and phone modes. Back to net, KG5PT.
Okay, James, real fine. Good to hear you this morning, and I'm hearing you well on the SDRs this morning. So I got you down for Alpha, Charlie, and Delta as the 100% true answers there, James. So very good. And yeah, I'm going to be working field day myself, but just tomorrow. I'm not going to stay all night. I like to go out and help them set up the antennas and get things started and operate for a while, have dinner with the club, and then I'm pretty much done for the weekend on field day. But anyway, that's the way I work it. I just like to do it that way, and I don't want to be away from my wife too long. She needs a lot of help here, and I don't want her to have any problems while I'm gone there. So anyway, I'm looking forward to operating it, a little of it myself. Anyway, break with you, James, with KG5PTE. Good to hear you this morning, James. Let's move on to Jack out in Soperton, Georgia. KM4CAX. Jack, what do you think about Bocage, WB5DRI? Okay, Jack, real fine. KM4CAX, WB5DRI. Well, Jack, good signal this morning. You're up at the 9 mark there. We've got a good path this morning, so good to hear you. And got your answers there as Alpha, Bravo, and Delta being the true answers there this morning. So we'll see how that comes out. Break with you. Let's go ahead and move on. Next we have, I think, another one of our Texas stations, Willie, KJ5BWB. Good morning, Willie. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI in the group from KJ5BWB. Good morning, everybody. Sorry I'm in a little late. We were at HEB, and you know that place is never fun. Brian, you live close to the craziest HEB in San Antonio, so I'm sure you understand. Anywho, built a great TV antenna yesterday, so I'm going to try and get that put up today. And man, it worked well. I just hung it on the curtain rod inside the living room, and it was doing great, so I can't wait to see it outside. And also, I'm going to mimic what Ray and James said. Field day, just looking forward to it, looking forward to hanging out with everyone and playing radio all night. So, like you said, though, I'll save some macros or whatever. Come hunt us down, Kilo 5 Charlie Romeo Alpha. You'll hear me on there. So I'll keep it on Facebook in the Syntex CW Club's Facebook whenever I'm on frequency or going to QSY or whatever. So hopefully I'll be a little easier to track. But I'm going to forgo the question, I guess. I didn't hear it, and I didn't get Charlie's live stream up this morning. So anywho, that being said, I'll send it back to you, Brian. WB5DRI from KJ5BWB. Good morning, everyone. I'll be here to the bottom.
Okay, Willie, real fine. KJ5BWB, WB5DRI. Well, I'm copying you very well on the Lumpkin SDR, actually, Willie. So good to hear you this morning. And real fine on working the field day. I'm going to be out with our club, which is, our call sign is W5 Sierra Charlie. So that's the call sign we'll be using for field day. So anyway, good to have you with us this morning, Willie. Good signal. Break with you. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go out to Jeff out in Florida, one of our Florida stations. I think he's next on the list here. KI4 Foxtrot Sierra Zulu. Jeff, if you're still in there with us, Jeff, you're up for the net. Good morning, WB5DRI. Okay, Jeff. Well, good to hear you this morning. Good to have you with us there. And we'll be talking about the questions here in a minute, so you'll get the answers along with everybody else. I guess this can be kind of a subjective thing, but we're looking for the statements that were 100% true, and some of these others have some truth to them, but not totally. So we'll see how it comes out. Anyway, break with KI4FSZ. Let's go to Mike. Mike, you're up for the net, Mike. WW5ENZ. Good morning, WB5DRI.
Okay, WB5DRI. This is WW5ENZ, and I'm glad good seeing you.
Stand by, check in.
We just got here. Not late yesterday, and I was still unloading this morning. Also, had the when I was in Beaver's Bend, it was kind of a hole there, hard to get out of there. And I didn't have an external antenna, just mobile. And I think I could barely hear John. And that's about it. So, and then I had my two daughters came to visit with their families, and it was pretty nice. And so we had a great time there. When I came halfway back, I noticed that there was no signal coming from my built-in weather station here. So this morning I had to do some tower climbing. That was interesting. I had to get back in and get some training on my own tower. And so I did a climbing exercise. No, actually, the weather station's about halfway up, so I climbed up about halfway and changed the batteries, and now all is good. But still a little crazy. But anyway, I just now saw the question when the TV warmed up or whatever, and I'm not exactly sure about this stuff. but I don't know. I'm going to think, just for the sake of a wild guess, I'm going to go, let's see. Boy, that's a good one. I guess I could say, this is really crazy, isn't it? How about, I'm going to go with C and D, just for fun. And I think that's what Carl had out there. And so I'm going to go B and D, and it's probably wrong, because I also thought C and A might be the best answers, but who knows? Anyway, everybody have a great day. I'm going to be one and done, because I do have to get back out there and get some more stuff out of the truck, and close those all doors up and get everything up. And I just want to say, I'll see you tomorrow, though, and thank you, Brian, WB5DRI, for filling in for me today and giving me this extra time to get situated here. And we'll talk to any of you that want to come in tomorrow. WB5 years, and every Tuesday, everybody have a great weekend.
Go ahead, info.
Yeah, are you still holding my Falklands question? Okay, I'll resend that one to you, Jack, okay?
Go info.
Just tell Lee thanks for the question for tomorrow. So we got a Lee question tomorrow. N5DE.
Check in W5OG.
Thank you, and it's going to be a Lee weekend, I guess. WW5 Easy, 73 again.
Okay, Mike, real fine. Before you get away, what were your answers? Bravo and Delta, or Bravo and Charlie?
I don't know, whichever one's more right.
Okay, all right, real fine.
I think I had Bravo Delta.
Okay, good deal, Mike. I got you down for Bravo and Delta, so very good. I thought there might have been another check-in, but that might have been the infos that we had. Do we have another check-in for the Flyers Club Net? It looks like we have an Alpha 6 Delta Bravo, actually. Let me try David there out in Downey, California. Alpha 6 Delta Bravo. You're up, sir. WB5DRI. Is anybody hearing David there in California? Alpha 6 Delta Bravo. Well, there's
W5OG. Check in.
David, let's take Bob there. K2SJP. Good morning, Bob. You're up, sir.
Relay.
Okay, well, good to hear you there, Bob. Thanks for checking in with us there, K2SJP. And we may be talking to you some more on the AFSC node, on the conference node on Echolink there. Break with you. I think we need a relay on AA6 Delta Bravo. K4YDB, can you relay him in, please?
I'll give it a try, but your brother's entered W5OG. Alpha 6 Delta Bravo. This is K4YDB relay, and if you're there, sir, take your turn. Alpha 6 Delta Bravo, your turn. I'm not hearing anything, Brian.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Charlie. Let's go ahead and see if I can bring in my older brother there, W5OG. Good morning to you, Dale, and love to you and Carolyn there. You're up, sir, WB5DRI.
You're up, Dale.
Yep. Charlie, I'm not hearing Brian at all. This W5OG. Are you hearing me? K4YDB, W5OG.
Oh, solid S9, Dale.
Okay, did he turn it to me?
Yeah. Brian, you want Dale to go ahead and take his turn?
Roger, Roger. I'm hearing you well on the SDR, Dale. Go ahead.
He's got you on the SDR, Dale.
Yeah, okay, well, I just wanted to say good morning to everyone. I'm outside here in Branson with the iPad. I haven't been on the iPad in a long time, so I thought I would give it a try. You might comment on the audio there, Charlie. You're the only one. Well, I can hear Jack, and I heard Bob, of course, K2SJP. But I'll be over on Echolink after the net there, Charlie. So you might comment on the audio. How does it sound? I'm on the iPad with the earbuds there. So anyway, the SDR program seems to be working good. I do have the amplifier on. So over to you, Charlie, and then you can relay me back to net control. W5OG.
W5OG, K4YDB. Well, you sound like Dale to me. You sound pretty good. Your audio sounds great. I have no problem copying you at all. Brian, he turned it. He said he'll be on Echolink after the net.
Okay, real fine. Well, I copied you well on the SDRs there, Dale. I guess you're not hearing me, but you were solid there. So good to hear you this morning, and hope you guys are having a great time up at Branson there. I'm sure you are, and we'll talk to you some more on Echolink. Break, that is the bottom of the list as I have it. Did I miss any stations on the list, or do we have any last check-ins before we get the answers to these questions here? This is WB5DRI. Please call now. Well, hearing none, I think I'll let Lee elaborate on these answers to the questions here. Because it's his question. It's a good question. I think there's some subjectivity to this, but historically we were looking for the questions that were 100% truthful or correct. So, Lee, thanks again for the questions. Go ahead and take your 73-round turn in 5BE, WB5DRI.
WB5DRI and 5B. Thank you, Brian. And at the risk of stepping on some toes or ruffling feathers, I throw out the caveat once again that recent archival history, I think, trumps some of the anecdotal history that has been written and copied many times by other people. So with that caveat, let's go down the list. A, they held up Allied ground forces restricting movement across the front. False. We tend to look through history through a straw that is American and not Allied in this war. And there's a lot of reasons for that. In the British sector, British-Canadian sector, they had some bocage, but they also had massive areas that were open and they could have maneuver warfare. Case in point, Operation Goodwood, where they got spanked pretty badly in a massive armor attack. So and that's why I put Allied on there, not American, Allied. So they didn't have to deal with it to the extent that we did in our sector. Bravo, the existence of bocage hedges was an intelligence failure. That has been written in some history books as a fact. That is, as the professor pointed out, that's nonsense. We had lots of photo reconnaissance. We had 3 levels of intel teams on the ground, SOE, OSS, and Eisenhower had his own intel people, plus the French resistance. So between that and Ultra, we knew it all. In fact, Ultra gave us the TOE TO&E of all those German units that had been identified within the last couple days before the invasion. So that is the level of intel we had. Whether they acted on it or not, that's another story. C, the welding of steel teeth onto the U.S. Rhino tank was a strategic asset in the Bocage breakout. False. Because when this was discovered as a solution, 2 or 3 days later, Operation Cobra took place, which was the massive breakout that led us to Paris and beyond. That operation did not rely on tanks with steel teeth. It relied on air power and massive artillery to flatten the Germans in front of them and proceed with the breakout. So that one wasn't right. By the way, the sergeant who invented this got the DSC. I think it was more of a propaganda thing than anything else. But tactically, did it work? Yeah. Strategically, no effect. The D-Day assault units were not given extensive training on how to deal with the Bocage. Absolutely true. I'm talking about the assault units now. 1st Infantry, 29th Infantry, 4th Infantry. They were trained in amphibious warfare and how to take out German bunkers, trench systems, things that they would face at the beach and a little beyond. They were never given any training, as far as I can find out, on how to deal with the Bocage. So D was correct. Echo, the Bocage assisted us in keeping the Germans bottled up while we built up our forces and logistics. We can argue about that one, but it did channelize the Germans into predictable road entry points that were very susceptible to air power. So the Germans could not wage widespread maneuver warfare against us in the Bocage because they had to put up with it too. That limited the Germans in coming after us while we were building up our reserves and logistics and manpower for Operation Cobra. So Echo was correct. So D and E are the most correct answers on this question. So thanks for letting me ramble, Brian. And maybe we had fun with it. WB5DRI N5DE.
Okay, Lee, very fine. N5BE, WB5DRI. Well, a very good explanation of all the answers there. And I agree with you. The Delta and Echo seem to me to be the 100% true statements there as well. But very interesting question and very interesting discussion there. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. Let's go back to the top of the list for the rest of the 73 round quickly. K0ZNC, Don, you're up for the 73 round, and you got half of the question right there. You got Delta, WB5DRI.
K1BOB. Go ahead, Don. You're up for the Flyers 73 round, Don.
Well, thank you, Bob. Thank you, Brian. K0ZNC here. Good question. I think there was a mix-up. I think LJS was doing the net logger, and I did hear when the question was asked. I think the statement was, which answers are not completely true, and I think that's what LJS is responding to. Anyway, good minute. Simon, thank you for running it. I've been over there in Germany with the hedgerows and all, and I never did think they were that big like I think it's portrayed to be here. But certainly there were a couple areas there where they really were thick, and the tank trucks and everything were set. in Germany and France and Luxembourg, all of those areas. Anyway, 73s, everybody. Have a great day. And we'll see today's repeat. And incidentally, today is the longest daylight day of the year. It's the summer solstice. Whatever it's called, solace. I can't think what the word is. Solstice. That's it, solstice. So I think we've got something like, I believe it's pretty close to 15 hours or some daylight today. And then the days are going to start getting shorter. So, thanks everybody. Have a good one. And we'll turn it back to you, Brian, WD5DRI, and the K1BOB, 73s.
K1BOB, back to net.
Okay, Don, real fine. Well, thanks, Bob, for simulcasting Don in. Very good, Don, and have a great day there in Longmont, and thanks for joining us this morning. Break with you. Let's go to Cliff, who's mobile out there, W5PIX. You're up for the 73 round, Cliff, WB5DRI.
Thank you there, Brian. This is W5PIX Mobile, and we are mobiling right now. We've just come through Dime Box, Texas. All right, we're about, about 15, 20 miles outside of Bastrop, Texas right now. Interesting answer. I did say Delta and Echo, but I let Delta ride. But anyways, it was all a guess. It seemed like a guess anyways. But anyways, everybody have a very good day today. 7-3 stall. Catch you over on Echo Link. This W5PIX Mobile headed to the house.
Okay, 73s to you, Cliff. Good to hear you this morning, and drive safe there. Break with W5PIX. Let me try some of our mobile visitors this morning. Alpha Lima 7, November Sierra. Larry, if you're still in there, you're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI. I don't hear Larry. Let me try Richard up in Minnesota. N0 Romeo Echo Hotel. N0 REH. Richard, you're up for the 73 round if you're still with us. WB5DRI. I don't hear Richard. Let's try Lee over in Belleville. W4PUO, 73 round, WB5DRI. John, are you hearing Lee at all?
No, W4PUO Lee, you're up for the 73 round, WA6LJS. No, he must have left because he was pretty strong the first go-round, Brian.
Okay, real fine, John. Thank you for that. Well, John, you're up. Go ahead and take your turn there. WA6LJS, 73 round, WB5DRI. Thanks for the net logger help and all the other help there, John. Over.
Okay, real good, Brian. WB5DRI, WA6LJS. You're still pretty solid in here. Pretty good conditions today. Excellent question, even though I got it wrong. And, I started out putting the full pulse answers down because I figured it's easier than typing a bunch, all the letters. But then when I realized that you were only looking for the true, I didn't want to, I started out the first number of them with false, so I didn't want to go back and change that. So if you're looking at NetLogger, the correct answers for the false would be ABC, I think. But so the answers that I have on NetLogger are supposed to be the false ones. Anyway, that's the way it is. So 73 is good net, Brian. WB5DRI, WA6LJS.
Okay, John. Well, thanks for your help this morning, and 73 is to you, sir. We may talk to you some more on Echo Link. Break with you. Let's go to Carl. KF7 GJO. Sparky, you're up for the 73 round, WB5 Deer Eye.
Hey, Brian. I didn't do too good on today's question, so I'm writing up a new one that I'll send to Bob when I get it finished up. He kind of spurred a thought with me, and this will be a question that you won't be able to easily cheat on. Anyway, this is Friday, Martini night, so everybody be sure to overindulge. So we'll try this again tomorrow. Great net, buddy. WB5DRI, this is KF7GJO.
Okay, Carl, real fine. Well, your signal has really come up nicely there, Carl. KF7GJO, 73 is to you. Have a great day there. Break with you. Let's go to our commander, K1BOB, WB5DRI. You're up, Bob.
Okay, Brian, K1BOB. Well, thanks everybody for doing your additional duties there. Well, we certainly took a trip down the wormhole today, that's for sure. Anyway, thanks everybody, and I'll be on NetLogger here. I'm sorry, I'll be on the Echo Link here momentarily, and we'll see you then. Thanks for running the net, Brian, and accommodating each other, you and Mike, on switching around. That's a good way to do it. K1BOB, back to you, Brian. Thanks again.
Okay, Bob, you're welcome. 73 is to you, Bob. Drake with K1BOB. Let's go to W5ABI. Joe, you're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI.
Yeah, WB5DRI and the Flyers, W5ABI. Good net, good question. I got it half right. I'll take it. Anyhow, it's 73. I hope everybody has a good weekend. WB5DRI, W5ABI, 73.
Okay, Joe, 73 is to you. Have a great day there in Las Cruces. Break with you. Let's go to Bill up in New York. W2WLD, WB5DRI.
Yeah, enjoyed it. Thank you, Lee, for the question. Thank you, Brian, for running an efficient net. And everyone have a great weekend. I don't know if I'll play field day or not, but if you do, have fun with it. Thanks, Brian. 73 all. WB5DRI, W2WLD.
Okay, Bill. Well, you have a great weekend there, too. 73s. Break with W2WLD. Let's go to K4YDB. Charlie, you're up for the 73 round. Thanks again on the live stream.
WB5DRI, K4YDB. Well, thanks for that, Brian. I do enjoy doing it. Anyway, 73s, everybody. Everybody have a good day. My exterminator just called and said he'll be here in about 20 minutes. So, 73s, everybody. It's K4YDB back to net.
Okay, Charlie. 73 is to you. Break with you. Let's go to Ray, WB2JJO. Ray, you're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI.
WB5DRI from WB2JJO. Very good there, Brian. Good question, good answer. I think I got like a 33% on that question here. Just want to wish everybody a good field day. If you guys are going to go out there and play, I know I am. I'll be out there Saturday and Sunday. So with that there, 73s, Brian, have a good afternoon, and we'll talk to you further on down the road. WB5DRI, WB2JJO, 73s all. God bless.
Okay, Ray, 73s to you. And you got half the question correct there. Break with WB2JJO. Let's go to James, KG5PTE, also with one correct answer there. James, you're up. 73 round, WB5DRI.
Brian, WB5DRI and the group, KG5PT. Well, thanks for letting me check in this morning. I'll catch everybody on Echo Link. I'm getting my list of things to pack for field day, and got to start getting things ready to go, and gonna giddy up and go play radio for the weekend. Anyway, 73s, everybody. I'll catch everybody on Echo Link. I doubt if I'll be on the net here tomorrow or Sunday. I will be playing field day, most definitely. Back to net, KG5PT, 73s.
Okay, real fine. James, 73s to you, and have fun with the field day there. Break with KG5 PTE. Let's go to Jack, KM4CAX. Jack, you're up for the 73 round with one correct answer. WB5 DRI. Jack, are you still with us? KM4CAX. WB5 DRI. Okay, real fine, Jack. 73s. Have a good day, Jack, and a good weekend. Break with you. Let's try KI4FSZ out in Florida. Jeff, if you're still with us, Jeff, you're up for the 73 round. WB5 DRI. Okay, well, 73s, Jeff. You have a good weekend, too. Break with you. Let's try, let's see, K2SJP. Bob, if you're still back with us, you're up for the 73 round, Bob. WB5 DRI. Okay, Bob. Well, you're sounding good there on my electric radio this morning. So we'll talk to you some more on Echolink. 73s for now. K2SJP, break with you. Let's go to back to Branson, to my older brother there. W5OG. Dale, you're up for the 73 round. WB5 DRI.
Hey, you had another comment in there, Brian.
Well, go ahead, comment, and somebody needs to bring in Dale for me there. Okay, real fine. I think that was a portable station there, KI5GYF, I believe. David out in New Mexico and Albuquerque, so very fine. Good to hear you this morning, and thanks for joining us, and 73s to you, sir. Break, let's go to, I guess Dale is not still in there. We'll talk to him some more on Echolink. Let's try Tom, K4YES, who has joined us there. Tom, you're up for the net. Good morning, WB5 DRI. Okay, Tom, well, 73s to you, sir. Thanks for jumping in here on the 73 round. Have a great day and a good weekend there, Tom. Break with KA4YES. Let me try the stations that have joined us here. Let me try Alpha India 5 Golf Charlie, Dennis, here in Texas. Alpha India 5 Golf Charlie. You're up, Dennis. We're on our 73 round. WB5 DRI. Well, I think I better shut this thing down. I can hear the Alaska Pacific boys already starting up, and it is time for them. So we'll say 73s to all stations. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the participants and all the relays and all the help with NetLogger and the live stream on YouTube. Everybody have a great day and a great weekend. God bless our troops and God bless the USA. This is WB5DRI now closing the Air Force's Flyers Club net and returning the frequency to normal amateur use. Good day, everybody.